You ever get bogged down with negative emotions? No, never happens to me. Come on now, we all have it. A lot of people think we're super shiny, happy people, and for the most part we are. She trumps me every day of the week. She's always like the happiest person.
Except
every now and then when they do what? They did what? What? When somebody does that unexpected thing that you just really can't believe that they did it, and you're trying to process it and figure out what's going on with me. I'm all funked up. I'm upset. I feel like crying.
it hurts.
It hurt me. You stabbed me in the heart. Anyway, hi everybody. Tristan Sabrina here, and welcome to our show. If you're new to our world, well, guess what? We're all about the flow, the energy, and the love. And tonight we're talking about how do you get back in flow when you get knocked out, especially when negative emotions are trying to rule the day. Yes? Yes, and yes. So Sabrina seems a little quiet tonight, and you want to know why? Because she's been processing some stuff, and we're hoping that tonight on the show she can fully process it and share the truth with you and with herself and with me on how she's working her way through it. I will share, since it seems that it's my show for right now, that
your show to expose me. Thank you very much.
I'm not trying to expose you. I'm trying to bring the love and the light, and I do want to say hello to our sweet friends here. Hello, Leah. Hi, Terry. Grateful y'all can join us. Hello, Anne. Good evening. It's so beautiful to be with you guys. So, hello, Ms. Bonnie Carney. Welcome to the show. We're talking about emotions tonight. You know, those disruptions that happen in your energy field that we call emotions, or those chemicals that are released from the brain when you have certain thoughts.
I think specifically we're talking about undesirable emotions.
Yeah, there's a good...
Right? Because emotions are, first of all emotions. What I have concluded to this many years that have passed, where I've gone through denying emotions, maybe overplaying emotions as a professional actress, learning to milk them and knead them so they rise, because I might need them for roles.
Oh wow, kneading emotion. That's a clever term.
Yeah. Like yeasting
like
it.
Like kneading the bread.
Because that's what you do when I replay and loop. It's like a loaf of bread, and I'm kneading it so it rises, and then the emotion is way bigger than it ever needed to be. But I think that being this non-physical being in a physical body, right?
All of us.
That's what... well, I was just speaking for me.
I was looking at my nose for a second.
Oh, okay. How is it?
Clean.
My experience is, that there's this non-physical and physical part of me. And years ago, when I was younger, I was following a path to transcend the physical body. Even though I was a professional dancer and I loved using my body, I thought that the ultimate goal was to transcend the body, which also meant transcending emotions and transcending feelings. And what I learned was from that experience is that you can do that, but I got really like lightheaded, top heavy. We call it like lollipop syndrome, and not valuing the gift of this lifetime, the gift of emotions, the gift of this wide range of emotions that is a guidance system, the ability to feel fully and feel deeply, to feel the greatest joy, the greatest love, the greatest awe. And also with that, of course, comes the ability to feel pain, to feel compassion, to feel hurt, to feel confused, and to use all of those emotions.
I have that ability to feel confused.
for self-reflection, and to use all of those emotions as a guide as to where I'm at. What am I reacting to? Am I actually in the present, or am I in the past? And where do I want to go with that? And what can I turn it into, right? Because just like a diamond used to be coal, what emotion you have right now, what you do to it can transform it into a diamond if you're aware of it and you nurture it and you know what you want to turn it into. I want to turn everything into love and joy, but I want to feel it all.
You've always said that. I want to feel all of my humanity. That speaks volumes, because for us, we met years ago, decades, in a meditation journey, seeking, like so many of us, an alternate viewpoint, another way of living, more flow, more love, more joy, less of this emotional pain. And we became very top heavy. If you missed the beginning of the show, Sabrina used the term lollipop. She's
the beginning of the show like 2 minutes ago?
Yeah, that beginning.
Yeah, if you missed the beginning of the show 2 minutes ago.
People are just tuning in right now. So those of you just joining us, hello. No, seriously, we were talking about the lollipop syndrome, which is where you get so flighty and out of your coherent, aware state. You're just like living up in this sort of spacey Nirvana land place. And not as...
I wouldn't say it was Nirvana land for me. It was more like escapism.
Okay, not Nirvana land. Just because Nirvana is a beautiful experience if you know what that is. But yeah, like super top heavy. Hello, you guys. See you coming in here. And just not grounded in the body at the same time. So much of what we teach is through the physical body. And this is a perfect topic for this, because have you ever been to, let's say, I don't know, a yoga class, a qigong class, maybe a workout or exercise class, and you kind of didn't want to go, you were in a bad mood, but you went anyway.
The funk.
And then afterwards you felt so much better. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I went. It completely changed my mood. Well, why is that? Well, you shifted your energy state. You shifted your chemistry and your energy. Those two always go side by side. So we had a thing happen this morning. We won't give you the exact details, but to give you a little bit of it, and Sabrina will add her flavor to it. But it shifted some of the feelings in our system. We were kind of in flow state. We got this information, and then it threw us off. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you guys can relate to that, right? It started with a thought. So we are in the middle of starting to promote, heads up, our energy detox and reboot event. It's coming up.
Starts on Tuesday, January 18th. It's totally free. 5 days of training with us in Qigong, joint mobility, Qigong strong, healthy exercises for your back, how to strengthen your lungs, tons and tons of things. And everyone who registers gets a free Qigong for Beginners program. So
and there's the link.
Very excited about that.
Grab yourself a copy of that program. It's getting rave reviews. And the event is going to be really beautiful, because a lot of the things we talk about today, movements in particular, and energy clearing, we'll be teaching at the live event. So there's your link.
And we've been through so much since the last energy detox and reboot event. During the last one, Tristan's mom passed. Then Tristan got COVID, and then over Christmas, everybody in our household had it, and we're all recovering. But we've learned a lot about the energy arts, boosting the immune system and the virus. So we'll be able to share a lot of that during this particular energy event.
Yeah. So after those exercises and you start feeling better through movement, through the body, and getting your energy back into flow state, you have to ask the question, what changed for me? Why am I now feeling better? And so let's go back in time to when we got this information this morning. We were expecting this particular partner who said that they were going to do this specific thing for us. It's sort of a reciprocal thing. And they didn't do it.
Yeah.
And we were like, what's going on? This is kind of really important. It has a big impact on the outcome of the event, yada, yada, yada. And we started speculating. You ever do this where you start filling in the blanks because you don't have all the information?
Terrible thing to do.
You shouldn't do that. You don't have the evidence, and so you start assuming. And then you start laying down a story, and you start building a story in your head, and then what happens? Feelings. Thoughts become feelings. I think we all know this, but let's trace it for a moment. You have a thought, and if it's not a healthy thought, it can do one of two things, and I think both happen simultaneously. It causes a disruption. Stressful thoughts cause a disruption in your energy flow. That disruption in your energy flow leads to a negative emotion. Why? Because our emotions are how we read our energy flow. So it's just a disruption. Yeah. And also, thank you, brain. Your brain says, oh, you want to feel that way based on those thoughts with those messengers inside them? Let me dump a bunch of neurohormones into your body to help support that disruption.
Because you felt this way before, I know exactly what to dump. This is a common feeling for you.
So your chemistry and your energy, hand in hand, go to work. And now you start feeling in your biology heat, inflammation, off, that pit in your gut. And then your psychology interprets that and says, oh, you're hurt. That's the feeling of hurt. Let me send more hurt signals. And off you go to the races. You start looping until you intersect.
Yep.
You have to intersect. So we started filling in the story.
My version?
Your version.
Okay. So
that's mine.
I woke up and I was actually excited to check my email and read something that I was waiting for. So felt kind of like, you know, a Christmas morning. It was like, on this date, this thing's going to happen early in the morning. So from bed, we have sort of like you don't check your email in bed.
No, don't do it.
No.
Oh, you didn't.
But I was looking for this one thing. And when I looked for it, it was there, but it was completely not what I thought. Right? Like the girl who's supposed to get the engagement ring. And what does she get?
She got, I don't know, a Cracker Jacks box thing. You got a beer can opener.
A beer can opener. And it wasn't related to anything with business for me at all. I felt like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you communicate with me? I'm just telling you, this is all my shit, right?
It's all us.
Is me. It's like, I'm so honest with you. I try to communicate so freely. Clearly. I try to be a person that you can feel like you can talk to. I'm not overreactive. I'm very logical. I'm probably one of. Let's skip that one.
Don't know what it was, but that's between you and you.
Well, I am extremely forgiving the first time with someone. And then after that, I learned my lesson.
You're dead to me.
So
unconditional.
So there were kind of those feelings. And I was logicking my way through it. Well, that's curious. What happened? Why? But here's what I loved is within, I'm going to say 2 minutes, I said, whoa, Tristan, I don't want to have this energy.
Right. She caught it.
I don't want to have this space. I can't move right now. I can't jump to, I'm so delighted that Christmas didn't come and I didn't get the engagement ring. I can't jump to that. But how about if we just jump to, well, this is freaking curious. Can we just go to there? Can we both just like not fuel each other, right? Because if you have a person or a friend
you can commiserate with,
that's friends are great, but when one person is in a thing, the other one's got to be like, hey. So we said, can we both just be curious? Can we just be curious?
Open to be curious.
And I had just read this quote a few days ago, and for some reason I so remember reading it, and it said, because I wasn't sure if I liked it, it said something like, your willingness to have uncomfortable conversations is directly related to your level of success. And I thought, well, I really don't want to I gotta have an uncomfortable conversation. But today I didn't feel that way. Today I felt like, hey, it's all just okay. It's all just love. It's totally okay to have a conversation. Only good things happen to us. Everything works out okay. But let's just be beautiful and not be afraid to have a conversation that might be uncomfortable. But I loved the moment that we both said, let's just shift to, curious. Because boy, did that suck the energy out in a really beautiful way. And let us get back to kissing our dogs and being in love with the sunrise.
And there's a little mantra that gets shared around here, which is only good things happen to us. And sometimes we don't see the grace in disguise, do we? We think this shouldn't be happening, this shouldn't be going this way, and yet somehow it's going this way. And can you let it knock you into a better position? Can you let it love you into an expanded version of you? Can you take that same energy that you would use to beat yourself up or someone else, which is really you? Could you take that same energy and say, I'm going to use that energy to be present, to be curious, to stay open to possibility, and to put that energy into the expansion equation versus the other compression energy. Now, this is the art, isn't it, of catching it and shifting it. One of the fastest ways, and I so appreciated how Sabrina caught it. She started to feel it in her body, starting to become a thing. I started to pick up on it a little bit. I was trying not to go there, and then a little bit more, and I'm going there. And what we do is we move the body with Qigong and energy work and breath work. So we started doing breath work. We changed the narrative, and we took a walk. Walking or moving in flow state and talking about all that is good changes everything.
Yeah.
Changes your chemistry and your energy.
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't take that much. But boy, if you don't catch it and you start looping in it, then you get chemically addicted in your body, and your body becomes the mind, and your mind becomes the body, and you get stuck. And you can get stuck for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think that our ability, I'll just talk about me, but us, my ability to say, I mean, if I'm just totally honest, is I get out of bed, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm peeing, and I'm like, well, I just really don't like the way this feels, right? Now I'm saying from the bathroom, hey, let's knock this off. Let's just shift to curious. Why were we able to do that so quickly? Because you guys know, sometimes when those feelings come up, especially if it's familiar, especially if you felt betrayed before or bullied before or not seen before, or always the one that people take advantage of or lied to, your whole history gets loaded into that moment, and it's no longer about some silly email. Why were we able to, in a second?
This would trigger.
Let's just be curious.
This would really trigger quite a few people.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
we were obviously triggered, but just think about it, something like in your business that you are so excited about.
Family.
You're relying on it. It's with someone that you know, love, trust, and all of that. And then this other thing you think happens, and it knocks the wind out of your sail.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that happen? And when you think about that for a second, how did you handle it? And how long did it take you to get back? Because the more we can shorten that time span, that gap, the more mastery we have.
And you feel it stronger with people that you actually care about, with people you actually love, and people you have trusted.
You're invested in.
What I started to say was the reason that we were able to do it so quickly is practice.
Right.
It is through the consistent practice of being aware of how we feel, being so aware that for me, I always think, well, every thought is a prayer. So this one thing just already happened that I'm not thrilled with. What am I going to do? Milk it and make more? Nah. But the ability to be the master of my own energy body, to be able to return to love, is from consistent meditation, consistent Qigong, consistent conversations about the priority, and being that person that's the most important thing, far more important than some silly email, far more important than the success of a business promo, far more important actually than a friendship, is my own alignment. With far more important is who I am each and every moment. That's the most important thing. So practicing that makes those moments so much easier than they used to be, because, oh my gosh, I remember thinking, knock it off, but I couldn't.
Right.
I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't sleep. You eat and your food's not digesting because I wasn't in control of the energy system. It was all over the place. I hadn't mastered the flow.
One of the most beautiful things, once you're awake to how you're awake to the realization that you are energy and everything is affected by your energy, because everything is energy. You start to, it's not just like, ooh, cancel that negative thought, cancel that negative thought. It's like, ooh, here's an opportunity for expansion because I know this.
Yeah.
If I can shift and upgrade this emotion, this energy right now, not only can I create a possibility for something incredibly different and unique to happen, but I'm going to grow myself consciously, because normally I would shrink, I would react, Most people would react. They would get pissed. They would get angry, and
they get really angry
really
over
pissed.
this thing.
I've gotten really pissed about stuff, and I create that vibration. But once you get hip to it, you're like, no, not going to do that this time. In fact, I'm going to do a complete 180-degree pivot on this. And I'm going to find a way to turn this into a power. I'm going to empower myself by shifting my energy and my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't take that long with practice, like you're saying.
Yep.
And then guess what? The universe is listening, says, oh, gotcha. That's what you really were intending. Because if you think about it, your energy is what set it in motion to begin with. What?
Yep.
You're trying to say it's all my fault? Well, I'm saying, what if you just take 100% responsibility for your energy and your emotion, period?
Yep.
So at least you're in control. And then you go, oh, well, I don't know what I was putting out there to begin with, but let me go ahead and upregulate that right here, right now.
Yeah.
And you do. And the universe goes, oh, I'll find a better way for you.
Yeah.
Make it work.
And what if what you've been desiring and wanting more of, some other things may need to fall away? So it really takes stepping into, for me, this total faith that everything that's happening to me is a blessing and for my highest good, because more moments than not, that's what I'm aligned to. And even though I don't understand this right now, and even though if we took it to court, it would be selfish, liar, arrogant, right? That's what the judge would hit the gavel that maybe the other person did in my head when I'm judging them.
In our head.
That doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, that's really key. It doesn't matter. It's none of my business why the other person did what they did, or to get back at them. And and then do you ever do this? Well, I'm just gonna I'm gonna text him 100 times, or I'm never gonna text him again. I'm gonna call him. I'm just not gonna call him again. I'm gonna tell people. I'm never gonna talk about hurt. So out of hurt, all of this, and in that moment that we just shifted to, hey, let's just be curious about what unfolds from this. That's so freeing in so many ways. And it really doesn't matter the outcome. It really doesn't matter if the other person, in your opinion,
that's key.
Was that a little like snarky, what somebody did? Was it a little not cool? So what?
Yeah, you're going to lose your life over that?
You're going to take it to the grave? So what?
You're going to waste your day. Like, we woke up happy, wagging our tails with our dogs.
Yeah.
And then information, which becomes a thought and a reaction, can change your whole mood and your whole day that was going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And you want to go ahead and run it over there into the brambles?
Yeah.
Like, why? But that's the art of awakening. That's the art of using suffering to wake up, to use it to your advantage. And here's cherry on the top, but not required. Sabrina was willing to have the uncomfortable conversation. She did.
Really early.
And this person was, oh no, I'm so sorry. I had no idea that happened. A trickle effect down through the company. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do all these things to help make this right. That's the cherry on the top. And we so freaking appreciate that, because that's integrity. And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I hope that we all can be that type of person when we make a mistake, or even if it's somebody else, but we're kind of, the head of it. We got to be able to own that. That's such a beautiful quality in a human being. Mm-hmm. And I so admire that quality. I have another part to tonight, but if you want to land this a little bit further.
Well, actually, I wanted to talk about what I saw myself do. Okay. So even though I shifted and I was curious and I had an uncomfortable little messaging, and then I went to teach a movement class, and I was excited to teach this particular class because we ordered a new canvas print.
Oh. Now I know another part of why you were sad today.
And I hung it, and it was the first class with this new print behind me, and it's supposed to be like a new dawn and a new day.
Oh yeah.
And then
can I go get it?
Sure.
I'll be right back.
Looking at it on camera, it was downstairs in the angel room. You couldn't see the colors, and it just blended into the wall. And I had imagined how beautiful and colorful it would look. And it just looked blah, and it has a no return policy, or you can return it, but by the time you pay for shipping and they take their 50% restocking fee, why bother? And so I know I brought that other situation into my disappointment of that picture. And then there was one other thing, and it was like, gosh, today is just this terrible day. This happened, and then this other thing. And I was trying to help my mom have a telemed session for my dad, and we didn't hit the button fast enough. And the doctor went on to someone else after waiting 3 hours. And I realized I'm totally just bringing this morning's reaction to all these situations. Otherwise, I would just be like, oh, that picture doesn't look like I thought. I'm going to find another place to put it in the house.
If you want to slide to the side, I can put it. Okay. Did you set it up already? They know what they're going to look at?
Yep.
Brina ordered this new painting.
See, it's really pretty close up like that. This is like water and the sunshine coming up and
Trees.
yeah. But didn't look so good in the angel room and then from a distance, depending on whether the camera was high or low, my students were saying, you need to raise it a foot, you need to drop it 6 inches, you need a frame, you need this, you need that. But what I saw was I hadn't flushed it all. And so when you feel like you have an emotion that you don't desire, you just kind of be aware of how you're almost like a sticky notepad. You're sticking that emotion onto every single thing that happens.
Right. Yeah, and everything becomes infected.
Yeah. And then you put the picture on another wall in a different room. Oh, it doesn't look good. It's too big. And, it's probably fine. You're just not in a place to see anything beautiful. You're not in a solution-seeking place. You're in a everything sucks place, or I'm a victim place.
It's a big old pile of suck.
It's a big pile of suck.
Everywhere you look. And have you guys, we've all done it where we get sad or mad or something. You guys love the painting. It is beautiful. It's really beautiful. It looks actually really perfect in our bedroom. That's where it's ending up, over the bed area. It's gorgeous. And I'm going to see it in the morning when I wake up, and it's going to remind me of the ocean. So when you have exactly what Sabrina said, that energy, and it starts to build a momentum, it just starts to cover everything. Are we ready for one more little thing?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So we have just a few minutes left, but I wanted to talk a little bit about what I think happened to my brain chemistry that caused me to feel for a few days really sad. I would go as far as to say depressed. I had no motivation from the inside out. Yeah. I didn't want to do anything. I just felt bleh.
This morning?
No.
Oh.
No. This morning I was fine.
Okay.
I hope I didn't seem that way.
You didn't. That's why I was like, you felt all that? You were hiding it?
I didn't feel that at all. But this has to do with some of the things that we're teaching at the 5-day energy detox and reboot event.
That starts on Tuesday, January 18th, and you can sign up at, in case you're just tuning in.
The link is SatoriMethod.com.
Oh, the other thing is I found out after the painting sucked, just real quick, that the YouTube version of the Trisbrina Show for last week that I mailed to 40,000 people hadn't been edited, and it had just a bunch of smack talking for like 4 minutes and 44 seconds in the beginning, and I just
Sabrina had a rough day.
I felt like that was such a horrible way for people to see us, just chitty-chatting, and then they saw us go 1, 2, 3 and do a fresh start and play the music again. I'm like, oh, this is so bad.
But you know what that is really, because sometimes things like that happen and we're like, it's fine,
Don't do it again.
But if you start your day in a negative place, it's going to affect everything. So it's really important to catch it and then shift it. And so some of the things that we'll be teaching, everything that we'll be teaching during the 5 days, everything we always teach is about this concept tonight. But I noticed something, and I want to talk about it real briefly because maybe you've been through it as well, and I think we can help you deal with it at the event. So in August, which wasn't that long ago of last year, this body got hit by Delta, right? So I won't say the other words, but you all know what Delta is.
Variant.
Mm-hmm. And I taught all my classes, and I don't think anybody knew, like, oh my God, like some people get hit you hard and you're like in the hospital, and Mama, she couldn't breathe through it. And I'm pretty sure she got that same variant while she was in Bali. And so depending on your body and your health and conditions, it's different for everyone. So I'm not saying I'm superhuman, but I am saying that I think, pretty sure, based on my experience of Qigong and diet and all the different things we do,
Breathing,
the breathwork techniques, I was able to move through that pretty rapidly, bounce back. But I want to tell you there was a period after.
without chest, you didn't have any of the chest symptoms.
No. I lost my taste, my smell, all of that.
10 pounds.
I had the worst freaking headaches. I don't know if anybody's going through it. I know we know a lot of people right now have Omicron and maybe have had other stuff. Maybe you've had Delta. I had the worst friggin' headaches. I mean, like migraines. It was horrible. And even my arms would hurt. Like I remember laying in the bed going, what's going on with my arms? They were aching so bad. And this all happened right after my mom transitioned on my birthday in July. So then I get hit by this thing. And when it was over, like when I was no longer contagious, I felt lethargy and just, I don't want to do anything. I felt sad and depressed. You know what I think that friggin' thing does to you? It just jacks with the chemistry in your brain. I think it sucked so much of my energy in fighting it, and it messed up my serotonin levels, and my brain wasn't firing. I was I wasn't sharp.
Spacey. Mm-hmm.
Other people have told us that. I couldn't think straight. And it took some meditation and some energy work afterwards to come back fully. But boy, I promise you this, I worked a craft. And I think that sometimes when some of us in this world today are struggling with emotions, you may have been exposed to this virus. You may have gone through it and your chemistry needs an upgrade. I think that's what happened to me. And I have been doing a lot of meditations in our community lately of opening up the energy through the spine and opening up the brain and lighting up different parts of the brain and stimulating glands and different things. And we're tapping into this joy. And we're really giving the brain the right environment to balance those hormones and to get that normalcy back and to have homeostasis. And so I want to teach you things that I did for my brain during that period, because I'm back, Jack. I'm happy. I'm good. Even in the middle of all this kind of weird stuff we're telling you about, it's all good. I'm feeling love and joy, and I'm back to being a sunshiny, happy person. And I'm okay with it. We heard somebody say recently in an email, please tell Tristan and Sabrina, for a while, I could barely handle them. They were just too damn happy. And I didn't think it was real. We've heard this before.
I was.
And then they realized it was totally authentic.
Yeah.
It's from the energy. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I really think if you're going through and struggling with your emotions right now, that energy work is your jam. It's going to help you a lot. That's what I wanted to say. Mm-hmm. Okay, so please join us.
And really boost with everything going on. I mean, we should all just be boosting our immune system and keeping it strong through what we think, what we eat, how we move, and who we are. Yeah, those are things that we are in control of, right? There's so much we're not in control of right now, but to have that, to do everything we can to be as strong as we can be. I mean, fortunately, I was blessed when I just had it in mid-December. I had a fever twice for 3 hours. My main thing was I was really tired a few times, but everybody else in the house got way more sick, and I was able to help caretake, and I'm so grateful for that. And being able to have tools to share, and then a lot of like online leaders being able that are struggling with things right now, being able to send them videos. Hey, try this breathing technique, do this Qigong thing. I mean, we're really sharing what we know with so many people right now. What?
Elise said, "You're back, Jack."
He's not slipping out the back, Jack, or making a new plan, Stan, and he's not being coy, Roy.
Yeah.
He's just trying to be free.
That's right. Set yourself free and give yourself a break. If you're going through a hard time, if you've contracted anything, if your brain chemistry feels a little bit off, if your energy system feels a little wonky, we got you, man. Come and hang out, do some Qigong with us. Do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do this thing with us. It's fun. You'll have a good time.
And be kind to yourself. Be sweet to yourself.
Yeah.
That so matters. I'm going to say in the past 5 years, that's probably the greatest growth in me has been that I'm so much kinder to myself. I'm so much more gentle and loving with myself. And because of that, I love other people so much more. Because I was just projecting how hard I was on myself onto others in whatever degree that is. And the more that shifts and the more I adore this little thing, no matter what, this little thing, then the more I can love. And then the stronger I feel. My thoughts are different.
Yes, Joanna, we're going to share everything that we know to boost the immune system and the tools, the breath work, the things. I mean, this is our joy, is to share so much of this stuff for free. We got a silly email from somebody the other day who thought, they said, boy, I wanted to give, if I could have reached through the email, I would have given them a piece of my mind, but we don't do that. Something like, how dare you have these techniques, and where you're going to make people
you're gonna hold back until next week or something.
I'm like, dude, are you friggin' kidding me? We're going to share it all week long, totally for free. You have no idea what I feel about this thing. If you lose your mother to this, man, we're doing everything we can to help people because it sucks, man. It sucks.
But we have a beautiful situation if we to learn and grow from, because having a business, a lot of emails come in, and fortunately we have help now. But when something extraordinary comes in, they always let us know. And to be able to, like this week, we actually caught one that came in, and as we read it, we were both laughing so hard.
Which one?
Because we didn't take it personally, where before it was like, I'm not interested in anything you and your slut have to say. And we were just like, like we invited him to a week of free classes, and that was the email back. You and your slut, get out of my email. We're just like, what?
You guys might not ever see this kind of stuff in your email. I don't know. We see some weird stuff because we're kind of out there and we make ourselves available and people get on our email
But we
list.
just laugh.
We laugh. But there's some folks out there that they're going through a hard time.
Yep.
They're reacting, they're projecting.
Can you imagine the pain the person is in that takes the time to respond to an email? Do you want a free course? Do you want some free classes? And to write that back? Do you know how much pain and darkness that person must be in? So you can't take it personally.
You can't. It's nothing to do with you.
No.
Anyway, it gives us the ability to reflect on how wonky the mind can get. And so, yes, we're going to share everything that we can that can help you guys boost your immune systems, take care of your brain and your body and your energy, feel good. Hey, you want to watch a rom-com tonight? Would that be fun?
Yes.
Yeah?
That's what I told Tristan like an hour ago. I think tonight is a rom-com
It's a rom-com night. All right, you beautiful people. Go and be sunshiny all over yourselves and others.
And when you sign up for the energy event, if you can attend live, it is such a hoot. If you can make that work with your schedule. It's 1 o'clock Central, 11 Pacific, 2 Eastern. And besides that, you have to Google like time converter. I think the UK is 7 p.m.
I'm going to go get a haircut.
When? Oh, Monday.
On Monday.
Oh,
I know, Elise. People are cray-cray. It's all funny. At this point, it's pretty funny. You can't take it seriously.
It's so incredible. What amazing lessons it's almost like standing on stage, sometimes having a business and just letting everybody in the audience tell you how great you are and how much you suck at the same time, and just being able to stand.
You suck.
Yeah. It's a beautiful gift.
Don't worry, I'm not going to cut it off. I'm just going to...
No, he's not, because he knows
not
if he
allowed.
ever does that again,
Look, this is what it looks like.
he'll get to touch me after it grows.
I just got done surfing, bro.
I like it. I like it like that.
All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.